Good morning and welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining us in the celebration of our San Antonio and Bexar County 300th birthday. On behalf of the Somerset and the Somerset Historical Committee, we want to tell you how proud and glad we are that you came today. And just so that you'll know who to blame, if you're a member of the Somerset Tricentennial Committee, please, or Historical Committee, please stand. Anybody else here? We've worked very hard. We've worked very hard, and the problem is that, you know, we all are very interested in history, but some of us are getting so we can't remember it very well. But we are trying our best. Speak for myself. History tells us that the official military post established near San Pedro Creek on May the 6th, 1718. In recognition of that event, today we will dedicate a plaque remembering that date and have planted a tree in honor of the pioneers who faced tremendous adversity. And I don't know that we could ever know exactly what all they went through so that we could be here today. Most of the settlers in those days were on their own. There was no Somerset. There was no, San Antonio was a long, long way away. But they came out here and settled, and they began to form small communities. And it is those communities that we also want to remember, and those pioneers that we want to remember this morning. And they include the Native Americans who lived on the creeks and rivers around here. If you're from here, you have dug up the ground on the creeks and rivers. And when I was young, I could find arrowheads. I complained to my dad, but I couldn't find deer. And it wasn't until later on that I realized the Native Americans were so prevalent out here, particularly along the Medina and Elm Creek, that the deer population was wiped out, and is only now beginning to come back. How about the great ranchos that San Jose in the Rancho de Atascosa and the later ranches, Los Herrera and others, that really literally started the cattle business in Texas. It was they who started the breeding of cattle. There were the small communities. I'm going to start with Garza's Crossing on the Medina River. That was the place, kind of this jumping off point for the cattle ranches down there, and has a tremendous history. Mann's Crossing of the Medina, just right down the road. Mann's Crossing was the crossing where the people who were part of the Castro migration crossed. There was Black Hill. Anybody remember Black Hill up on I-35? There's Old Somerset. That used to be Somerset. Today we call Old Rock. But that was a thriving community back in the late 1880s. Benton City. Benton City was so big they had a college. They had everything that you needed in that city, and just a very short time, it just went away. They all moved to Lidon. There was Bexar, also known as Los Colorados, where there was a coal mine. There was Segler, which was a religious group, and Senior. And there are others that I don't know. The only reason I know these is because my grandmother would tell me about these places, and I always wanted to go see them. But by the time I could drive, they were gone. All of these places were gone. There's no even markers. There's no houses. When they moved, they'd take the whole house, and there's just nothing there. Most of these places. Some of them have historical markers. But what I'm hoping to do today, with our historical marker here, cover all of the old communities where they grew up. The two hub cities, Von Arming was a crossing, the Von Army crossing. And Von Army is a thriving city, and of course the hub city of Somerset, which is for those of us who don't live here, we claim Somerset, even though we don't live here. So all of these things are precious to us, and we need to pass our knowledge of this on to our children. Like my grandmother, I try to tell my children, and they always say, "Dad, you've already told us that story." And I say, "But I still want you to know." And that's what I think we have to do. Religion was an important factor to the pioneers. It was a hard life. And belief in Jesus is what brought so many of them, got them through the hard times. I'd like to ask Brother David Revere if he would come up and give us the invocation, and then I would ask you to stand and we will do the Pledge of Allegiance. Brother David?
I invite you to join me for a moment of reflection and silent meditation in an attitude of prayer in keeping with your faith tradition. We gather here today as the community of Somerset to join with our brothers and sisters of the city of San Antonio and Bexar, Atascosa County, in the greater Tricentennial celebration. God of love and providence, as you have blessed this community, we now ask that you also bless this plaque, this garden, and this tree. May the plaque we dedicate today serve to remind us and our descendants and all future visitors of Somerset's heritage. May the garden space we dedicate today provide for us and our descendants and all future visitors a place to reflect on the diversity, strength, and perseverance of those who came before us to settle in this area. May the tree we dedicate today provide for us and our descendants and all future visitors the inspiration for us to also grow into fruitfulness for the benefit of others. But most of all, O God, Creator, Redeemer, and Sustainer, continue to bless the people of Somerset, that we may provide to our descendants and all future visitors a richer heritage, that we may benefit from and reflect favorably on what we have done today, and that they may be inspired to do likewise 300 years from now for your honor and glory. Amen.
Amen. Please join me as we pledge to the flag of the United States. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Now we will pledge to the Texas flag. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. Thank you. You may be seated. I want to thank Mr. Richard Flores, here,
yes, sir.
right there, and Crystal, Cameron, and this is the choir from Southwest High School.
This is my country, land of my birth. This is my country, grandest on earth. I pledge thee my allegiance, America, the whole, for this is my country, to have and to hold.
too believe that these students deserve a great applause for their wonderful voices. Thank you very much.
This has been something that I know that San Antonio has made a big deal out of the 300th celebration, and I've attended several events in San Antonio for the 300th celebration, and it's really something I'm so glad that we are taking part in it, along with Judge Nelson Wolf, and I just think it's something big for our community. Like he said earlier, you know, this is something that people in our future are going to be able to come and visit our garden and look at the plaque and look at everything that they've built here for many years to come. So I would like to thank you all for taking time out of your Saturday morning to be here with us and celebrate with us. Thank you again. So at this time, we're going to go ahead and just greet our guests that are here today. So I know we have our former mayor, Paul Cuellar. If you can stand up, please. And from our school board, we have Dr. Patricano. He's our board president as well. And we have our superintendent, Dr. Saul Hinojosa, who will be speaking later. And we have Alderman Jesse Vidales, former Mayor Richard Padilla is here, and everybody from the EDC board. We have Miss Rico, Miss Willems. Thank you all. Y'all stand up. All of your hard work. Thank you very much. I'm gonna make sure. Okay, I think that. Constables. Yes, our constables from Precinct 1. Thank you for being here with us. They're always willing to go above and beyond. They help us with our parade every year, so we're very grateful for them. Yolanda Ramirez. Gonzalez, sorry. She's also on our planning and zoning committee too. So and American Legion Auxiliary, yes, who partners with us quite a bit. So thank you. Dr. Nava, where is he? He's probably inside working, helping the kids. That sounds like him. So Dr. Nava from the school district as well, who's a great asset to our community. So, and so I think we're good. All right. Well, thank you all for coming. I really appreciate it. We'll move on to our Region's Immigrant Pass, Dr. Lloyd Bursta.
Okay. Well, he didn't make it. No, Dr. Bursta, thank you so much.
You're very welcome. You're very
And thank you all for coming. We appreciate it very, very much. Dr. Verstuff was able to attend today, but we have really a much better speaker because he really wasn't that good anyway. No, he is that good. He had an emergency come up. But I will tell you, Dr. Verstuff has worked extremely hard in developing programs for our youth to know what our history is. And I invite you sometime to go to the new school, the Legacy High School. And what you will see is that the main hall, it was built long, and the main hall is a representation of the Medina River. And along the way, you find all three crossings, and then you find information about the heroes of Southwest. I was disturbed years ago when I found that nobody realized that in this neighborhood we had signers of the Texas Declaration of Independence, artists, we had notable people. And so we put that up there. Somebody told me when I promoted this, they said, those kids will never look at it. And I said, well, if one looks at it, I'm going to be happy. That'll be good enough for me. But we wanted to talk a little bit about the heroes today. And we have asked Delia Castro Garza to come. She is Assistant Superintendent for Curriculum and Instruction at Southwest Independent School District. And since she is in charge of all curriculum and development, she should know something about this. So, we'll turn it over to you.
Thank you. No pressure, Dr. Byram. Good morning. It's definitely a celebration, a time to celebrate, knowing that we're here in the land of where heroic heroes walk through. And so just as Dr. Byram as he, probably has told his story over and over again. He was just sharing a little snippet of the amount of information that we could just, come together this morning and learn. But one of the things that this morning he was sharing with me is that it was because of these men and women that traveled through Texas and came here through sacrifice, through tears, and through sweat that we are here today, sweating a little, but also enjoying of that great sacrifice that they were able to be a part of, and now today we enjoy. So congratulations to Somerset, congratulations to all the settlers that were able to have that bravery and just come through that journey and be able to give us an opportunity this morning for us to be able to celebrate and be here to just celebrate that Tricentennial. So congratulations to all of you for being a part of this great legacy, the great history that now all of this land is a part of. So one of the things as I was putting this together that I learned was, we didn't just land here, and but it took a journey. And so as we look at Texas, is like what I learned was through this funnel, we arrived here. And so through our ancestors and through the settlers that determined that should I go to the east? Well, they couldn't go to the east of Texas. There was disease going on there. Should I go to the west? There was really no water there. They continued traveling where they ended here alongside the Medina River. So we, just like Dr. Byron was sharing with us, we have 3 crossings: the Garza crossing, the Manch crossing, and the Medina crossing. But before all of this it was really interesting where they came to settle around where there was rivers, where there was water. We all need water, and those rivers meant a lot. But before then, we have one of our first settlers, his name was Blas Maria Herrera. And I'm sure you brought your notes to take notes, because I definitely encourage that. But one of the things that I learned from him was Blas Herrera. He was, although the first settler, he was also the person that we call the messenger of the Alamo. So as people were preparing with the Mexican army coming, and then the Texan army preparing themselves for the Battle of the Alamo, somebody had to run and let everybody know the army is coming. And who was that? The messenger of the Alamo was Blas Herrera. So what Blas did is he ran into the Alamo because there was families that were there. And what he did is he came in and he said, "Run, evacuate." And because of that, a lot of families saved their lives. Now we know, like I mentioned to you earlier, it was through sacrifice, sweat, and tears. I'm sure there was a lot of that going on. And we've seen just around with what's been going on in Texas. We have a hurricane, we've got other disasters, and what happened? So during that time, it wasn't a moment of disaster for Texas. Why? Because we were fighting for the land that we wanted for it to be free. So one of the things that Blas did is he came in and he saved families. And he was a messenger and the first settler here in our area, here in Van Army. The second person that I found it quite interesting was Samuel James McCulloch Jr. He was the first black free slave. And so he had a decision to make, just like everybody else. He came in here, he saw the 3 crossings, again, he found water, and he found great people, which just like us, we're great people. And one of the things that he had to do was, he was the first brave person to enter the fort as soon as the army started happening. And what he did, he fought for equality and justice. He did not have any rights with a U.S. law, but he did have rights with a Mexican law. So what he did is he decided to still enter, and he fought for the rights of all of us, for equality and justice. What Samuel McCulloch did is he had 2 years to make a decision. President Houston, during that time, they said, "Okay, slaves, thank you so much for serving, but we need for you to evacuate Texas. We need all the slaves out of Texas." But what he did, Samuel McCulloch, because of his bravery, he stood and he fought and he appealed with President Houston. He told President Houston, "Wait a minute, my family and I, we would like to stay here." So because he was that brave man, and he was so badly injured and wounded during that time of the battles, he was granted some land here in Man's Crossing area. And for those of you that are familiar, is because of Man's Crossing area, we would have never have known what Samuel McCulloch had to sacrifice, and that he had to appeal to stay here with him and his family. And that's exactly what Samuel McCulloch Jr. did. The first Black American who fought for our land. So we celebrate him also today. The next person we have is Jose Antonio Navarro. He was also a Tejano participant in the Texas Revolution. He was also the signer of the Texas Declaration of Independence. And he was one of the original settlers here in the Garces Crossing. He also was so much he was an attorney, he was all about the rights and making sure that the Declaration was written appropriately. He was out there advocating for the people that had just finished fighting, but he wanted everything to be documented. So he definitely was a Hispanic delegate who went and was part of the Texan and the newly formed Republic of Texas. So besides that passion that he had for us, the passion that he had for what he had settled, he also had passion to making everything in document, and he was one of those signers, the signer of the Texas Declaration of Independence. Then we have Enoch Jones. I always wonder, Von Army, how do we get the name from Von Army? You know, I thought, is it a city? Is it a river? Is it a, you just never know. So Enoch Jones was one of the wealthiest persons who lived here and who had a very, very wealthy mercantile store in the main plaza. Well, during that time, there was a lot of movement going on. He felt like with all this, and he was running, in some of elections, and he felt like, you know what, my time is done. I'm just gonna go ahead and retire. And so he moved from the main plaza, he moved to where? To the Medina area, and he built what is now called the castle on the Medina. He was so wealthy, so he created a castle, Pennsylvania style, and so soon after he gave it over to his daughter. Then this is where the Von Army name comes out. He sold it, the daughter sold it to Count Norbert Von Army. Now we know how Von Army was named. So the Count Norbert Von Army was a person who bought Von Army. He bought the castle, and this is where the name came about. To me, that was an excitement. I was like, wow, I learned something in all this research. But other than that, as we go back, and I'm sure that every single rock, every single piece of dirt, like Dr. Byron was sharing, if you dig, you'll find a piece of history. Well, we are standing on history right now. And we are about to just enjoy this tree that now is a part of that history. So as we continue to sit here and just be a part of this great moment, we're gonna cross this street. We're gonna cross this territory knowing that there was heroic people that showed valor and that were part of this journey. And so now we move forward, and for all the ladies here, the one person that I was like super excited about, Ella Fisher. Ella Fisher was the first female judge here in Texas, right? So that's kind of awesome that in here we were already creating history every step of the way. Not only did we have a battle happening, but we had people that were settling and making decisions on behalf of all of us in order for us to be able to enjoy today. So with that said, we do have now into our classrooms. We walk into our classrooms, and how can we take this story of back days ago of history? And what we can say is that Sam McCulloch and the gentleman that I mentioned to you earlier, we definitely have a diverse group of people. And here today, we have a diverse group of people also. And with that is we can come together, we can fight, we can celebrate, and we can also say we have freedom. We have freedom because of the people that decided to fight on our behalf to be able to enjoy life today. So our children in the classroom, our communities, when we gather together, we can certainly be a part of celebrations and greatness and goodness. Why? Because we need people of valor sitting here, and you're one of those. So today, like with what Dr. Byron was saying, is how can we take a piece of this history and share it with our little ones? And that's what we can do today. We can take a little piece of history. I know that now I know how Von Army was named and the different people that crossed through here, but we can take a little piece of history and continue to share our heritage, continue to share the legacy, continue to share the tradition with the many babies and kiddos that are going through our land today. So as we see this tree and we cross through here, now we know the many heroic people that fought for that tree and that fought for us. So hopefully you enjoy this morning, and I appreciate you listening to me.
Our area south of the Medina has a rich history, but does it also have a bright future? In the coming decades, will the trees we plant this year also bear witness our community's continuing strong support of families, faith, and education as in our past? Somerset Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Saul Hinojosa, will share his thoughts.
Thank you, Ms. Quare. I was asked to speak about the future, but before I do that, I think it is important that I do talk a little bit about the history of the school district. Because this year, Somerset ISD is starting its 97th year. You know, we talk about 300 years of San Antonio, 100 years of Somerset is just around the corner. In 1922, Somerset ISD was formed from 5 other school districts: Wildman, Senior, Bear, Old Rock, and Oak Island. Today it encompasses over 85 square miles and is located, of course, in southwest Bergen County and northwest Atascosa County, serving over 4,250 students. The approval of various bond issues over the years has ensured that the district remain current in educational programs and educational opportunities for all their students. Some examples are culinary arts, as we saw some of our students hand out water, and I know they have some goodies for you after the event. We have an ROTC program. We have STEM labs throughout the district to prepare our students for future jobs that might not exist today. We have a cosmetology program that offers haircuts and nails to our community. We have a law enforcement program, again, that teaches students about that particular area. Automotive, we've started an automotive program where we will be servicing cars in the next few months. So for those of you who need oil changes, can do so at a very cheap price. And agriculture science, of course. Ag is one of the big programs in our district, and this past week we had 5 students placed at the State Fair in Dallas, which again was a tremendous accomplishment when you think about all the thousands of students who are competing throughout the state of Texas. So I do want to brag a little bit about the district when we talk about the future. Some of the things that have happened over the last few years and some of the accolades that our district has earned. First of all, in 2016, Somerset ISD School Board earned Board of the Year through HEB, which was a tremendous accomplishment when you think about the 1,100 school entities that exist. I see Dr. Pachicano sitting back there, who has served on our board for the last 12 years, who has really been instrumental in leading the board and the school district of where it is today. For many of you, you probably saw our basketball team advance to the state tournament for the first time, overcoming overwhelming odds in school history. Our mariachi group, which we started years ago, earned 3rd place in state competition this past year in Edinburgh, Texas, which I had an opportunity to attend. Our band earned, even though they're very small, earned a sweepstake Division I rating this past year, again, for only the 2nd time in school history. Barrera Elementary, Somerset Junior High, and Somerset High School have all been Founders Award finalists sponsored by the Low Milken Foundation, where each one of them has earned $10,000 scholarship for the respective school district. Governor Abbott and Commissioner Moran were here at Somerset ISD last year. As I know some of you are present, Pastor Cogburn and many of you, as one of our teachers earned the coveted Milken Award, which was again a tremendous achievement as having one of the best teachers, not only in the state of Texas, but in the U.S. Our UIO academic team advanced to state again this past year. We have a welding team, cosmetology team, and ag mechanics that all advanced to regional competition in 2018. And then a few years back, under the direction of Dr. Pachicano, our Somerset Education Foundation organized and today has sponsored over $500,000 in scholarships and grants to our teachers and to our students. Students also have been accepted to Harvard and Cornell in just the last 2 years. All of these accolades have allowed the district to grow and to see developers invest in our city and our surrounding area. Somerset is no longer a secret anymore. In fact, due to the growth of the district, we have built a new transportation center, a cafeteria, and a sports complex to prepare our students again for the future. What has been a small rural community the past 100 years is transforming into a suburban area where families are coming due to the area being recognized as a great place to establish a family which encompasses strong moral values and strong Christian beliefs. In closing, it gives me great pride to work in a school district in the city that we call Bulldog Nation. Together and through our hard work, we will continue to educate and produce skilled individuals who will keep our traditions alive while improving our community through STEM education, technology, and vocational education. A big thank you goes out to all the passionate individuals who put the program together. I know Peggy, Ms. Cuellar, Dr. Byram, all of you who have allowed us to congregate together today, along with the sponsors who've made it possible. If any of you ever have a chance to visit our Cape building, there is a mural painted out there which touches on the history of Somerset ISD and this community, from the railroad tracks to the farmers who lived in the community to the businesses that existed at one day. I encourage you to visit, which our art students did a phenomenal job in putting it together. But again, thank you for all the people who put it together, and may God bless you all.
With the live oak tree and crepe myrtle trees you see planted around you for our future families and visitors to enjoy, we also have a plaque mounted on a limestone block. This plaque is to remind us of our city's participation in the Bexar County San Antonio official Tricentennial celebration. Will our mayor, our superintendents, and honored public officials join us around the limestone monument for the unveiling?
And the plaque reads, Bexar County San Antonio Tricentennial Commemoration and Tree Dedication. October 6, 2018, the city of Somerset, Bexar County, Texas, planted this tree and others in our community to honor our ancestors and descendants. Since 1718, folk have come from throughout the world, not only to San Antonio with its river, but also to the Somerset area south of the Medina River. Our Somerset area provided its residents with respite they sought. They stayed for the natural resources that provided their livelihood. As they faced and endured many challenges, their strength lay in their families, friendships, and holding to their firm faith in God. We hope those who share the shade and beauty of our tricentennial trees know we are thinking of you.
Is necessary for that tree to stand strong and also to be nourished, and we too in our lives we continue to strive to nourish our community. And the plaque that is sitting on rock, on our foundation of rock, we recognize that Christ is our rock in our lives. And even though we in our journeys of faith and in our lives have to cross a lot of oceans, you might say, because sometimes those oceans are full of different type of turbulence and difficulties, we know that the Lord sits there with us. And as we may be yelling and screaming like the apostles were in that boat with Jesus when they felt they were sinking, Jesus says, what's the problem? Why are you so worried? As long as He is with us and as long as we recognize that, we will be okay, no matter what the problem, no matter what the difficulty is. So we pray, Lord, that in our journeys of life, every day that we face, that we will put you as our rock, and that the tree of life, that we all share it, may produce much fruit that gives you our God, our Creator, honor and glory. May we especially be aware of the importance that we are to families and to community. Because as the world and the devil tries to destroy those two great realities of family and community, we must stand strong, like rocks, like strong roots that push back and fight for what is good, for what is just, for all the dignity of human beings, and especially to grow and help others to grow in the true faith, which is established by you, O Lord, through your love. We ask your blessing upon all that are here in the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Amen.
And let's go and eat.
One more thing, the refreshments that you're going to culinary arts instructor and the students. So enjoy.